It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Rich Gamble to the TEDxWrigleyville set. You see, there are a handful of people who have dedicated decades of their life to propelling the excellence of this beautiful city of ours. And Rich Gamble, you're one of them. So right now, you're on, I had to write this down because there's so many of them. You're the board chair of the Chicago Loop Alliance, a director and past board chair of the Magnificent Mile Association, on the executive committee and the governance nominating committee chair for the board of directors of Choose Chicago, a director serving on the DEI and membership committees, as well as the foundation co-chair of Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. And this doesn't even include your prior leadership at institutions such as Chicago Tribune Media and the Chicago Zoological Society.
Yes.
So, wow, okay, welcome to our TEDx stage. It's amazing to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe something that wouldn't be on a LinkedIn bio, and what is it that brought you to all these amazing organizations and made you such an amazing leader in all these organizations?
Well, thanks for that. I'm still working on it, but the bottom line is I love my city. I grew up here on the south side of Chicago, South State Street. I'm sure many of you may be familiar, although they're torn down now, with the Robert Taylor homes and Stateway Gardens. I grew up on 56th and State, a block south of that. And going out of our front door, I'd look north and I'd see a row of the largest public housing projects in Chicago. And at the end of it was this just kind of beacon that kept attracting me downtown. And so as a kid, an aunt used to tell, I love movies and theater. My aunt would bring me down to the movie theaters, and I'd go and see a movie and have lunch and see different kinds of people, hear different languages spoken, look at the incredible architecture, and just say, one of these days, I'm going to work down here. I'm going to live down here. This is an incredible place.
Right.
And so I had an opportunity to do that. When I was in school, I interned at, back when First Chicago was a bank, it's now JP Chase. I interned at First Chicago and got my first taste of what a professional career would be, and then took it from there. At one point in my career, I became the publisher, worked for Tribune for 16 years, was a publisher of Chicago Magazine, and I ran the business, I didn't write the stories. I had an amazing journalism team who did that, award-winning journalism team, but you're telling the stories of the city, and I was learning more and more about the city that I grew up in. And you can live your entire life here and still discover so many amazing things about Chicago. And I wanted to make sure that I was not just taking from and benefiting from it, but I wanted to give back. And part of the way of giving back is having a civic part of, being civically engaged. So.
Absolutely. So Chicago born and raised, dedicated to this beautiful city of ours. So I have to say, I'm very passionate about Chicago as well, but I had never heard of the Chicago Loop Alliance, which you're
Yes.
a director of. Can you tell us a little bit about this incredible Chicago organization?
Well, what the Chicago Loop Alliance, its mission is to create, manage, and promote positive, inclusive programming that attracts people to the Loop and accelerates economic recovery and investment in the Loop. And so it does a lot of things towards that end. We do economic impact studies. There's a great education community. There's an incredible theater, culture, arts community. All the major institutions are down there, from the Symphony to the Art Institute, Museum Campus, you name it. There's so much going on. And we do impact studies. The most recent one we did was the economic impact of residents in the Loop.
Wow. Do you want to tell us a little bit? I mean, this is
Sure.
so fascinating to me because you're doing tourism and community building.
Yes.
And then you're also doing all this incredible research that informs you as to both. So yeah, tell us a little bit about this study.
Well, the study revealed that we have about 48,000 people that live in the Loop. The Loop is the fastest growing neighborhood in the city, which makes the city the fastest growing downtown in the country.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the residents in the Loop have about a $470 million impact, economic impact, and their spending power is close to $1 billion, just over $900 million. And so when you think about both the convenience and the walkability of the Loop and how attractive it is, all the transportation systems go there from Metra and CTA, It's very walkable. It's a great place to live and work and visit.
Okay, so now I'm thinking I missed out on an opportunity to buy investment property in the Loop when I first moved into the city 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us some of the examples of the community building events. I had heard you in our pre-interview talk about Sundays on State and the Ambassador Program. And again, even though these are massive programs from what you told me, I had not heard of them. So can you tell us a little bit about these incredible programs?
Well, I'll start with the Ambassador Program. The Ambassador Program is something that we put in place 10 years ago, a decade ago. And we were wanting to make sure that there was a safe environment, a clean environment, that we were working with the unhoused community. Homelessness and those that are unhoused is an issue that unfortunately many people experience.
Sure.
And it's not illegal to be unhoused. Those folks actually need help. And so what we did with the Ambassador Program is provide services to the unhoused. We're like a concierge service that can help visitors, residents navigate to the different cultural attractions, restaurant, retail that they're looking to engage in. They pick up trash, they remove graffiti, they do a lot of things to keep the area clean and safe. And related to Sundays on State, after the pandemic, we were looking for a way to boost the economic engine of the city, which is the downtown area. And we launched a series of activations called Sundays on State. And this past 2 Sundays ago, we brought 125,000 people downtown to have this amazing block party. We shut down State Street on Sunday from Wacker to Adams.
Wow.
Had stages. About 90% of the people who participated were from underrepresented communities. Our tagline at the Chicago Loop Alliance is that the Loop is everyone's neighborhood, and we try to live those values and demonstrate that. And it actually gave a boost to the businesses down there. One of the businesses said that their revenue went up 20% on that Sunday because people went to Sundays on State, had a great time, went shopping, stopped and got a bite to eat, and just enjoyed themselves downtown.
It's amazing. That's the way it works, right? So
Absolutely.
actually the next question on my list was for you to tell us a little bit about the tourism aspects of the Loop Alliance and Choose Chicago, but you've already told us so much about that. That's just so phenomenal. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Sure.
Because you're doing so much to make this city an amazing tourist destination.
Well, Choose Chicago is an amazing organization. It's the destination marketing organization of the city. So there's leisure travel and business travel. On the business travel side, you have meetings and events and conventions. The McCormick Place is a more than 2 million square foot, amazing place to have a convention. They host parties up to 40,000+ people coming in for different industry conferences. They work with the hotels and the restaurants and all the assets, the cultural and other assets, to make business travel friendly. They also are, from a leisure travel perspective, working with all of the institutions and all the neighborhoods to help showcase just the incredible diversity of cultures and experiences that you can have in Chicago. I mean, you can find your tribe in Chicago. There's everyone here. There's every faith, every race, every lifestyle you can have it right here.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think that our city is so lucky to have you doing all of this on a volunteer basis. But what I want to know is, so Chicago is very near and dear to my heart. I live in the city. I raise my kids in the city. I would love for you to tell us, to close out the interview, what else is there that you would want us to know about this incredible city of ours? What is it that you want our audience to remember from your time here on this TEDx stage of Ideas Worth Spreading?
Chicago is the best place on the planet. It's the best place, absolutely. We have an amazing dining culture, an amazing business culture. We have thought leaders. The Loop is the heart of Chicago. All the philanthropies, there's over 200 not-for-profits that are housed there. We have the head of city, state, federal government, county government there. You can find anything you want to do in and around the city.
Well, how phenomenal to have you with us on this stage expressing your pride and love for Chicago, which we share. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be here with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.